You may be wondering, well, I'm dressed like this. It will all become apparent very shortly. I do this for a living. I get up and speak. And I have to say, when I was asked to speak about this topic, like a breakfast speaker months ago, well, yeah, okay, I can speak about that. And then I actually thought about it and went, what do I really know about this? And so I have probably researched this presentation more than any other in the last 10 years. Because I'm going to talk a bit from experience and a bit from research. And because I know you've seen all the fantastic samples all week, I'm not showing you a lot of samples, but some samples. And a lot of what I'm going to show you is what other people are saying, not what I'm saying. So I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to do a brave social experiment. And Peter told me there's a door out the back so I can escape if I need to. And lots of stuff. I've got a lot of slides. But what is a fan? So I looked up the definition of a fan. Enthusiastic devotee, a follower, admirer of celebrity, sport, pastime or object. The term first appeared in the late 1800s, and then it grew with the movie industry. You could buy little fan books in the 1930s and 40s, and particularly once television arrived. There's seats down the front. I don't spit more than at least a metre, so you're safe. Sit down the front and make me feel like I don't have to reach out to everybody. It's okay. So it was very much built around the movie and celebrity industry, then it moved into sport. It is a derivative of the term fanatic, which is a person with an extreme and uncritical enthusiasm or zeal, as in religion or politics. You know, a wild-eyed fanatic or a one-eyed fanatic. I won't go into the whole thing. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not a fanatic. I follow Liverpool because Craig Johnson was an Aussie who scored an FA Cup winning goal in the mid-90s. And these are unbelievable fanatics, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but they're not even English. They're Scouts. These people are so passionate about their sport that they denounce their nationality. And I train my son's team. The other day I was training, I was wearing this, walked to the car. I didn't know they were until they went past, but some Man U fans went past. Loser! Go Man U! And what could I say? We lost. Man U won. So it starts young, you know. Nice kid, paint the face, and get the tattoo, whatever it is. But of course, this is what they become famous for. Right? The point being, helpful tip 1, fans are self-organising. You cannot manage them. Doesn't matter what they're fans of, you do not manage fans. All you do is give them tools to manage themselves. So if you think you can build a bunch of fans and hold on to them, please look now. When I was living in Melbourne 25 years ago, I lived with, and she was about 9 years older than me, a former Miss Hawthorn who became Miss VFL. This is not her. I don't know how you got the award, or, you know, you rooted for the team or something. I don't know. She was this senior executive, lived in Brighton, elegant, beautifully spoken, very attractive, former model. So she told me. And on Saturday morning, she would grow a second head. The TV going, the radio going, she's getting ready for the adventure. So I went out to my first ever adventure. And this is in the days before big screens. Very interesting. So you get there on this field that is so big you need binoculars to see the other side, right? And they would bring picnics and cards and a radio so they could listen to the game they're watching for once it got out of sight. Because it was so far away you couldn't see it 150 metres away, right? And the ball would come over and the ball would go back and they'd sit there and play their cards and listen and look up to the binocs. You know. Anyway, one guy from the other team, fish, salmon. Listen, the ball went that way, kicked it, guy caught it, kicked it, guy caught it, kicked it, guy caught it. It's like, oh. The whole of them started punching me. I said, what are you doing? I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just supporting the football. You're not here to watch the football, you're here to support Hawthorn. Actually, I was here to hate Essendon. That was the point. Right, let me go back to the sport again. Now we have here in this town a split town, don't we? Who's the Crows fan? Who's a Port Adelaide fan? Okay. Crows, describe the Port Adelaide fans. So I'm stepping into my brave social experiment, right? Go on, describe them. What are they like? They're losers. Right, okay. So what can you tell me about Port Adelaide fans? What sort of cars do they drive? Stolen. Port Adelaide fans, your turn. Describe the Crows fans. Chardonnay drinking, yeah, you're right, okay. It's smoke glass. And I really want you to get to the point. Don't beat around the bush, right? And if I was to tell you that, AFL's an interesting sport because it starts with a statement of complete disgust by, I think it's called an umpire, right? He chucks it down, got another freaking afternoon of shit, right? And then a continuous fumble starts from start to finish. Fumble, interrupted by, kick, catch. Hey, you caught the ball, you have a free kick. Oh, good, kick, catch. And then you come between the big sticks and no one's allowed to stop you. And you kick it, and if you're so appallingly bad you miss, they reward you with a consolation prize of a point. What a sport is that? See, now, some people aren't happy that I'm saying that. Right? You want to lynch me because I'm criticising the sport. But the point I'm making is that I didn't criticise any of you. I was having a dig at the sport. But it reflects how you see yourself. And if you really think you can get people who like your yogurt brand to paint their face and feel that way, I think you're having yourself on. Right? But think about how you feel when something like that is criticised in case you really believe in. Because research has just come out. Very interesting. Okay, it was published a few weeks ago, and I think it was in news. It was published that the more in intelligently educated society, educated being they've gone to school, people who have a strong belief, when presented with the facts showing that their belief is incorrect, firmly reinforce their belief using those facts to prove that they're right. So even though they're shown right is wrong and wrong is right, you can show them what's right, they will believe what they want to believe in. And the more you give them facts proving they're wrong, the more they believe that they're right. Think of politics. Right? So the point is it's about the fans, it's not about the brands. Right? It's all about them. I did manage some music clubs, it wasn't one of these. Right? Piece of research I discovered, our real obsession was with ourselves. In the end, the actual men behind the posters had very little to do with it at all. It was all about us, the deep fans. It's not about the brand. It was about the rush they could get, being the first to have and look at this and I was that and talking to each other. It wasn't about the brand itself. True fans believe the brands reflect the way they perceive themselves. In the mind of the fan, if we can make them look and feel this, and I'm going to give you 4 screens of stuff later, then you've got a chance of tapping into fans, right? And if you can make them part of a group, we'll talk about that. That's what this whole social media thing is. I mean, what's a Harley Davidson's day job? Person who rides these days. What do they do during the day? It's one of those. Because they think they look like that and they hop on the bike to buy a latte at a cafe out there in Healesville on the weekend, you know. Because it reflects the personality. I ran the Lexus launch in Australia. And it was very interesting. Lexus was pitched to people who were smart and comfortable with their decision. The car was technically as good as a Merc and a Beamer, but it was Japanese. And our research discovered that Lexus owners in the first year would wave at each other, just a nod of, I'm with you, as they drove past each other now, there's a Lexus owner. Right, they were fans of themselves. But we were getting a 95% response to written surveys that were 4 pages long because they wanted to give their opinion, because they were the first to try the product. Right? And the whole Encore program built with Lexus was actually the first to provide a budget summary from the budget lockup in audio that you can play in your car. I did have a photo of it, it's a cassette, and most of you would know what that was. So ask your father, there was a tape thing when you drive and you could listen to the budgets. And now everyone has a budget summary, you know, so they would give things to their customers based on what the data was telling them to build their fan base. I've never bought any of the music, but she was coming for her first tour in the mid-90s, and she'd sold 500,000 CDs, and I thought, this is interesting. So I inquired, no one owned her fan club here, so I got the rights to it. $60 a membership, I got $12 a member. I thought, 500,000 CDs, 100,000 people, I could make some money here. So I ran the Madonna fan club. The stuff that comes in the mail to the Madonna fan club was unbelievable. Girls denouncing their mums that Madonna was a better role model. Men cutting out pornographic images of women with Madonna woman's head stuck on it. Right, this is what I'd like to do with you. All this sort of stuff. Madonna would send out signed autographic photos, which were signed by a machine. Right, you get that. You get a book called the Boy Toy Catalogue. And now, of course, it's all moved online, so they cut their costs and you pay a premium to get the extra stuff. But they would write from their heart, these fans. And music fans do that. We've seen some great case studies. We saw Patrick Hollister talking about Radiohead earlier in the week and how they're saying pay your own. You know, they released their single and said, you tell us how much you want to pay for it. They're very passionate about the stuff because it reflects how they see themselves. So I decided, you know, I know a bit about real fans. Let me go and look at what brand fans mean. So I went to, some of you may not know, this is called the dictionary. And I went to the font of opinion, not fact, Wikipedia, where most of it is not true. This is their definition of direct marketing. A form of advertising reaches audience without using traditional channels such as TV, newspaper, radio. Hello. A complete crock of crap. It's always dangerous, Wikipedia. Right? So when I keyed in brand fans, they said, do you mean brand flakes? The earliest reference to the term brand fans is 3 years old in Google. It goes back to 2007. There's almost no books on the subject. The only books you find where it's mentioned is in customer service books. Right? CRM. There is nothing about brand. The only other books are 101 Things. There's a bucket list of things to do for football fans. 101 Things to do for a Chicago Bulls fan. The bucket list of things to die before, to do before you die. So there's fan books around football and sport. There's very little stuff that's real in this space. It specifically refers to Facebook fans. Right? It's used by marketing types who are fans of social media. An online fan exists for their benefit. They're very much like what I call them fan light. Right, in terms of that. Just I found it, as I researched, I've got to throw in a few of these things, And I was looking at this because I was concerned about a lot of the source documents of the stuff we're seeing. And you probably have seen or been to a seminar where somebody has played right here, right now, the internet was this and it's tracked at this and everything's and it's gobsmackingly amazing, right? Right here, right now. And I thought, I want to find out where this came from. So I looked and I could not find any resource, any search documents on it. So I went back and studied when the television was invented because I was concerned about the percentage of growth relative to population given this statement. It's all right to say we reach 100 million in 10 weeks if there's 6 billion of us, but there was only 1 billion of us when television was invented. So I searched and searched and I thought, God, this is going to be hard. Because, it's widely believed the adoption rate of the internet exceeded that of earlier mass communications. It took 37 years for radio to reach 50, 34 TV. So I found this guy. He's a pioneer of the internet. He's an academic in Norway named Giselle Hennemeyer. And he responded and said, yes, I'm real. He'd done the work for me as an academic essay. And sure enough, we're being deceived. Right? Radio, television, internet, users in the US in their millions. B being the base year that adoption took place, not even mentioned. TV was invented in 1890, it was adopted just after World War II. It's taken the internet, 10 years in terms of numbers to reach the same numbers of users as television in the US. More interestingly though, it is still tracking behind as a percentage of population growth to what TV and radio do. Right here, right now, is invented by social media digi experts who wanted to sell social media. Right? It's no basis in fact. And he found the documents they were using, which were incorrect documents, to create this prediction that the internet's going gobsmackingly amazing, which it is. The problem is you tend to believe what you want. The research has shown that. So fans of digi-fans will believe anything that reinforces their belief, even if it's incorrect. There's a guy called Eric Coleman who authored a book called Socialnomics, and it's the top book in the world for social economics, and he's got a buzzword and a book and a seminar, so he's welcome. He opens the TED conference, the Conference for New Thinking, with a video called Right Here, Right Now. He hasn't even had the intellectual fortitude to do the checking of his source documents. But he's the expert. Right? It's making us intellectually lazy. We accept results without question. We accept production values as truth because they're on the internet. It must be true. It's in Wikipedia. We accept friends' links without valuing them. This is what a web developer needs to know. Build a website. This is how much they earn. SEO expert needs one book. They earn this. Social expert needs to know the password to Twitter, snake oil, password to Facebook, cowboy. This is what they earn. Right?